So today's topic will be about the G7 countries which have agreed on uniform minimum corporate tax. Okay, that is your global corporate minimum tax. Global corporate minimum tax. Now, what is this global corporate minimum tax are all about? First, we have to know. So first, we will be explaining what is corporate tax, corporate taxes. Second, why the OECD countries have gone for this minimum taxes for the corporate, and what are the tax evasion countries? What do you mean by tax haven countries or tax jurisdiction countries? What are tax haven countries? Haven countries, okay, or tax jurisdiction countries. Then what are about your, we'll be discussing all this. What is tax avoidance? Then we'll be discussing about base erosion and profit sharing. Then how this corporate avoids these taxes, how corporates avoid the taxes, and whether how this global, that is your how global corporate minimum tax works. We'll see how it works also, we'll see. And from India's perspective, how this GCMT from India's perspective, whether it is advantages to the India or disadvantages to the India, we will see that. So here, this is the thing. In the recent times, what happened? In the recent past, what happened? A historical deal was made by the G7 countries. Can I say the G7 is richest countries? So agreed on global minimum tax of at least 15%, But actually, this, this global minimum taxes was first initiated by the not only G7 but also OECD countries. They wanted the minimum tax to be 21%. Now, why this? What is the corporate tax, etc.? Why this minimum corporate taxes? How it is benefit for the India? We are going to see now. First of all, what do you mean by minimum corporate tax? First, what do you mean by corporate tax? Taxes. See, the corporate taxes are simply can I say these are the most important, one of the important resource of revenue for the government? It is one of important sources of revenue for government. So there might be other sources also for the government. One of the sources is corporate taxes. Now, this corporate tax is applied on the, suppose there is a company like for a company called as Reliance Jio company. Okay, this Jio company is, that these companies are making profits. So the net profits, whatever the net profits, on the net profits, taxes are on, see, taxes are applied. So on the net profit, the taxes are applied by the government. Taxes. So in India, the corporate tax presently is 22%. For the initial firms, those who are startups, the corporate tax is 15%. Now, India also has reduced the corporate taxes from since 1990s. In 1990s, the corporate tax was around 40%. In 2000s, it was 30%. Now it has reduced to 22%. Now, why it has reduced? What are the scenarios that made India to reduce the corporate taxes? We will see that. Okay. So can I say that these taxes, one more thing is that these taxes are on-side flows. That is on-sided or one-sided flows. Now, why this is one-sided flows? For revenue for the government. Now, why this is one-sided flows is because, see what happens here, the government can do two things. Either they can increase the revenue, the government can increase the revenue from the two things. One is taxes, the other is your borrowings from your open market operations through G securities, government securities, or can I say that they can also go for your loans from the World Bank or from the external commercial borrowings. These are the things. But can I say that these are the things which they need to repay after the certain period of time? So today they take, tomorrow they need to repay. But the taxes are the one which are one-sided flows. No need to repay it. So that is the most important sources for the taxes, are the important source of revenue for the government. Now, in the tax haven, now we will talk about the tax haven. What is this tax havens? Or tax haven countries. So the countries, these are also called as tax jurisdiction countries. Tax jurisdiction countries. Okay, the country. Now here, in order to place any country under this category, every country is not a tax jurisdiction country or tax haven country. Whenever they meet certain criteria, they need to meet any country. If they are tax haven, they need to meet certain criteria. What is this criteria is all about? So what is this criteria? Criteria is simply, this criteria is given by OECD countries. OECD, right? So what are the first one is no other economic activities, no substantial economic activities should be present in this economy. No substantial economic activities should be present in this economy. Okay, number one. Second is that this is the first criteria. That means no other economic activity should be there in this economy. Okay, except the investments. That means they should be investing. Okay, there should be lesser economic activities. This is the number one. Now, no transparency in the system. No transparency in system. That means what? Suppose India wanted some kind of financial data from country X, or from the Switzerland, or from the other countries, Ireland, or any other countries. Like, if they do not provide data which is related, so there is no transparency in the system. So there should be no transparency, no substantial economic activities in the economy. And these countries, third criteria is these countries should have low tax rate, or zero tax rate, or no tax. Like, for example, you see Ireland is imposing 12.5% of corporate tax, whereas USA is imposing presently 21% of corporate tax, and India is imposing around 22% of corporate taxes. 22% of the corporate taxes. But you see here, there are countries like Bahamas or Bermuda or Cayman Islands. So here, if you find these countries, if I take these countries tax rates are simply zero. No tax. No tax. Now, you can ask me, sir, if there is no tax, how the governments of these countries able to run? Number one point. And why there is no taxes for them? There is no corporate taxes for them. Okay. See, there are three things here we have to know. Why the tax is no tax or lower tax. No tax or low rate tax. Rate taxes. Why such scenario is there? Okay, why such scenario? So here you see that no tax or low tax rates. Now, why such scenario? It is because of the three things. First one is they get the revenue from the customs. Revenue can be generated for these countries through customs. Generation or generated through customs duty for these countries. Number one, most of the revenue generated through customs only. Second, that why they are no tax? Because they wanted to attract foreign investment. Attract foreign investment. If they attract foreign investment, what will happen? Economic development will take place. Not only there will be many objectives of the government that can be achieved if they attract foreign investment, like for example, capital. Second, your employment generation, okay, and etc. So there are so many things. So they can attract foreign investment, and because of that, they make these taxes low or no taxes, and they get the revenue from the customs only. Okay. Third thing is that large amount of charges are collected by these countries. Amount of charges are collected by these countries through licensing. Whenever they are providing, setting a firm in that country, for that they required to take the license. So large amount of charges will be applied by the licensing. Second is renewal of licensing. Whenever they are renewing it, they are licensing, they will. Third is through registration charges. Registration charges. Okay, so these are the three things from where they are getting the revenue. Now you can ask me, sir, if they are getting the revenue, okay, fine, very good, they are zero. But what is the loss for the countries who are outside? Yes or no? Those countries. So first we have to know why these countries are going to that country, that there only, because of the lower tax rates. Okay, but what about the loss in that country where they are operating? Okay, I'll tell you. See here, before that we have to know what is tax avoidance. Avoidance, and what is tax evasion. Evasion. What is tax evasion? What is tax avoidance? Tax avoidance is like black money, simply. Okay, that means they are illegal but unethical practices. It is a legally they are earning money legally, but this is unethical practices they are doing. Example, black money. Black money. Okay, the money which is earned through the illegal process, illegal processing, they are nothing but example of money laundering. Money laundering. Okay, money laundering. So the taxes, see, generally why they do, because either that money laundering, tax evasion, see, they wanted to find out the loopholes in tax system. to get tax benefits. Here in this case, they find the loopholes in tax system. But here they wanted to show lesser profits to the government. So that is called as tax evasion. Simply illegally. Like for example, you see, I have a company. Okay. See, tax evasions for lower taxation, they wanted to pay lower taxation to the government. That is the most important objective of the tax evasion. They wanted to show or pay lower taxes to the government. Now, how do they do that? Suppose there is a company. And in this company, suppose this company is some company, XYZ company. Okay. So this company is making a profit of 100 crores. But I am showing a lesser profit. Like for example, I show only 30 crores as a profit. So what will happen if I show 30 crores as a profit? What was the scenario? I have to pay only taxes on only these things. That means on the 30 crores, I have to pay the taxes. That means on 70 crores, there is a revenue loss for the government in form of tax evasion. So lower taxes to the government. That means I'm paying only 3 crores. There is a 7 crores I have evaded. This is called tax evasion. This is the difference between tax avoidance and tax evasion. Right? So here you see. Next is your most important concept called as base erosion and profit sharing. Now, what do you mean by this base erosion and profit sharing? You see, it is nothing but you are reducing the profits you are showing. See, profits, base erosion means simply reduction in the tax base. Simply, it is reduction in tax base. So it is simply, you see, so any source of income, see, tax base are the source of the income. So what happened here? You're reducing the tax base. That means how the tax base is reduced when the profits are reduced. Like for example, you see, in India, this is India. Now, in India, I have set up a company called as Google. Example. This is an example. Now, the Google is making, you know that Google is earning a profit of 100 crores. But he is shifting maximum profits to other country where there is a subsidiary industry or firm. For example, 70 crores has been transferred out of 100 crores profits. 70 or 80 crores has been transferred to the other country, like country called as Bahamas or Bermuda, etc. Okay, and only 20 crores are left. Now, for example, the tax is 10%. How much they have to pay? 2 crores of rupees. So profits reduce. Suppose that 100 crores were there, government was getting 10 crores of money. Now how much they are getting? They are only getting 2 crores of money. Why? Because they are shifting the profits to the other countries. Now why they shift the profits, I will tell you, and how they shift, I will tell you. So what happened? You see, this is nothing but profit sharing. Profits has been shifted to the other countries. Right? That is called base erosion, tax reduction. Base erosion means reduction in the tax base. And because of this tax base reduced, profits reduced, and total revenue for the government in form of taxes also reduces. Now, what happened in the post-2008 global economic crisis? Post-2008 global economic crisis. So what happens here? In the post 2008 global economic crisis, the G20 and OECD have made an action plan regarding BEPS, base erosion profit sharing. Okay, profit sharing. So action plan, they came up with 15 points action plan. 15 points action plan. So what are these action plans, etc.? We will see now. Okay, these are nothing but the methods or the process used by the global. See, this BEPS is simply nothing but the methods or process used by the global corporations or MNC companies, under which they are going to shift profits from high tax jurisdictions to the low tax jurisdiction. I'll explain. See what happens simply from high tax jurisdiction. Like for example, this is my country. Okay, India. And there is one country called as Bermuda. Bermuda. Now what happens here? Suppose there is a company, X company is there. Here they have established, and this company is X company. X company. Now this company in India, the corporate tax is around 25%. Assume it. And now what will happen in the country B? They will establish one more company, the subsidiary company of AX, that is called Y company, subsidiary company. And what they will do generally in the simple manner, Bermuda is having low taxes, low tax rate. Bermuda is having low tax rate or zero tax rate, for example, 0% of tax. So what will happen now? Suppose they earned around 100 crores of rupees. So what they will do, company A or X company will shift from India towards Y company. So profits has been shifted to Y. Now, this is a method. This is how the BE, your PS works. That is your base erosion profit sharing works. Now, how does it works? How the corporate avoids the taxes now? We'll see how the corporates avoid taxes. Avoid taxes here. How the corporates avoid taxes? That is the question. How they avoid their taxes? You see, there are three things. There are many methods, but I will tell you the three most important. Okay, the first one is your IP structuring, restructuring. Restructuring. What is this IP restructuring is all about? See, IP restructuring is simply, for example, okay, IP means intellectual property, okay, or patent, right, or patent, or your copyrights or trademarks, whatever it may be, right? So what happens? Suppose there is a country A1 and there is a country A2. Now what will happen? In country A1, corporate tax is 20%, assume, and country 2, corporate tax is 1%. So what will happen here? Suppose there is an X company limited, and here we have one more company, Y limited. Y limited. Now what will happen here? You see, X company, X limited. Here, this is a company X limited. And another country, we have Y limited, like this. So what will happen? This is a Y limited company. So what the X will do, X has earned 100 crores of rupees. Now, what they will do, simply, he will sell the copyrights to the company Y. Same subsidiary company, his company only, but he will sell copyrights. He will sell the copyrights copyrights, patents, trademarks, etc. Trademarks, etc. to company Y. How much? For example, 80 crores has been sent. Now, Y is leased company of X. Y company is a leased company of X. So this is simply called as your IP migration. IP migration. Now, can I say that now the most of the profits of your X has been shifted to Y? So where now I have to pay how much tax for 80 crores? 0% of tax. But here for 20 crores, I have to pay 20% of tax. For 20 crores, this much tax I have to pay. So I'm paying lesser amount of tax. This is called erosion. Okay, base erosion and profit shifting. One. Second type is thinning or thin capitalization. Second type is thin capitalization. Thin capitalization. Here, what they do, simply suppose there is a country C1. Okay, country C1, and there is another country C2. Suppose there, this is my company, okay, and this is X Limited. This is another company, same subsidiary or leased company, Y Limited. Now what will happen? The X company will take from Y company a lot of loans. Lot of loans will be taken by the X company. Loans, okay, or in form of capital. So they need capital. So capital has been transferred from Y to X. Now, revenue of X, what will happen now? Whatever the revenue they earn, they have to pay interest to the Y. Interest rates, huge interest rate. Interest rates. So they have took the capital and huge interest rates has been taken. So what will happen? The revenue of X will come down and revenue of Y will increase in this case. Yes or no? Here Y will come down, sorry, X will come down and Y will increase. This is called as thin capitalization. So according to, this is a thing, okay, one thing. Then there was one more, double Irish and Dutch sandwich. No need to explain that. These two understood. So one more thing is that in the last 30 years, what happened? There was a huge competition among the countries started to reduce the corporate taxes. So huge competition among the countries to reduce the corporate taxes. Now why they wanted to reduce these tax rates? What is this? This is actually called as, this is also called as race to the bottom. Race to the bottom. So recently your tax justice network, there was tax justice network. So they have given tax justice network. They have given that because of the base erosion and profit shifting, the world is losing around $427 billion every year for tax havens. How much? 427. So tax, this is nothing but your race to the bottom. So what happens here in 2000 to 2020, what happened? The corporate tax rates has declined to almost 88%. Okay, 88% in most of the countries. So corporate taxes has declined to 88% in most of the countries. But in 6 countries, countries have risen or increased the taxes. Now question, why the countries reduce corporate taxes? See, why the countries are reducing these corporate taxes? Why? Because in order to get investments in these countries, investments in these countries, they wanted to reduce it. Okay, number one point. Second is about the OECD. You see what happened? OECD and Tax Justice Network, both of them, they have predicted countries are losing around $427 billion. And OECD particularly, it predicted that $100 billion to $240 billion the countries are losing. And because of the why, it is only because of BEPS, base erosion profit sharing. India alone, they are losing around $10 billion because of this. So how does this GCMT works? Global minimum corporate tax, how does it works? That we are going to see now. Now, in the last video, we have seen about the corporate tax, base erosion and profit shifting. Now, in this video, we are going to see about how does this global corporate minimum tax work or minimum corporate tax work. So how does the global minimum tax corporate tax work, GMCT? Okay, how does the global minimum corporate tax works? That we are going to see. Now, in the recent past, the G7 countries, okay, G7 countries have agreed. What they have agreed, it is a landmark deal. Okay, look at some points here. You see, G7 move will close loopholes. Now it will close loopholes for MNCs to shift profits and tax revenue to lower tax jurisdiction. Number one. Okay, they are closing the loopholes. Second is OECD has been overseeing tax talks about 140 countries. About this tax, OECD is talking about with 140 plus countries. Third point is that according to the UK based tax jurisdiction, India is losing around 10.3 billion from the global tax abuse. Okay, so here India is losing around $10.3 billion. Okay, $billion global tax abuse. Now, this mark deal closes the cross-border tax loopholes. This deal, G7 for uniform minimum corporate tax. Now it will close cross-border tax loopholes. They will close this loopholes used by some of the world's biggest companies, like Google is doing that same. Okay, Google is doing, Facebook is doing, Amazon is doing, many of them, they are doing like this. Okay, so what happens here in this, it was a race to the bottom, and also this minimum tax was initiated by the Treasury Secretary of US Treasury Secretary has initiated this. So here, how does it works? That is an important point. How does this is going to work? We'll see now. For example, you see now, suppose I'll take a country. This is your country, India, and this is another country called as Cayman Islands. Okay, this is an island. So what will happen here? You see, under this, suppose there is a company called as A company is there. This is a company, A limited company. Now what will happen? Suppose in this India, the GMCT, suppose it is, they have assumed 15%, right? Suppose, or any kind of, suppose it is 15%. Now what will happen? GM, that is global minimum corporate tax is 15%, and this A is a parent company here. It is a parent company. Now what they say, suppose there is a subsidiary company of A that is called B. B is a B limited. It is a subsidiary company. Okay, it is a subsidiary company here. Now what happens? You see, suppose A earned 100 crores. The A will shift some of the profits, because there is a zero tax rate, no tax here, no tax. That means whatever the 100 crores, out of that 100 crores, 20 crores are with the India, that is A limited, and 80 crores of profits has been shifted. Now you see how it works. Now how it works? You see, here they have to pay zero tax, but here they have to pay 15% of tax. 15% of 20 crores. 15% of 20 crores, right? So some around 3 crores they have to pay here. Assume that they have to pay 3 crores of rupees. Now GMCT, what the GMCT will do, for example, one more thing I have to take. Suppose here lower tax rate, for better calculation, lower tax, that is 5%. Assume this is a 5%. How much they have to pay? 5% of 80. 5% of 80. How much they have to pay? This much. 44 crores they have to pay here. Out of the 80 crores, they are paying only 4 crores of rupees. Now here, how the GMT works, you see, what is GMT? 15%. And what is the tax rate of the lower or tax jurisdiction country? It is 5%. How much? The difference is 10%. This 10% of tax will be applied on company A limited, which have earned the profits, which are parent company India, but the profits are shifted. Now that means on the 80 crores, 10% into 80 crores. 80 crores, that is 8 crores of rupees will be taken by the A company, by the country where they are residing, that is India. Now India will collect 8 crores more under the GMCT. This is called global minimum corporate tax, that is minimum. Okay, minimum throughout, uniform minimum corporate taxes. Okay, uniform tax, this is called as. Right now, for example, you see, now what are the issues with this? Issues and concerns with GMCT, global minimum tax or uniform tax, global minimum tax or the uniform tax. So what will happen here? The first major issue is global tech companies which are misusing the clauses, tax clauses. Now they cannot escape it. Okay, global companies like Google, Uber, or your Facebook, all of them, they are misusing these taxes. So misusing the tax clauses. Okay, so what will happen? How they are misusing, you see, like for example, Uber is there, Uber app, or suppose Ola is also, I think Ola, okay, Uber app is there. Now there is a person who is residing in Hyderabad. He wanted to go from place A to place B in Hyderabad. So what will happen? The person is going from place A to place B in Hyderabad. Simply, this person wants a cab. He will book Uber from the Uber app. He will book a car and he will go to place B. He will reach place B and he will do payment. So what happens here? Uber app, he did the payment. Now the payment will be going outside the India. It will be outside India. Yes. That means who is taking this payment? Those persons who are outside India, the company, Uber company, who are residing in the USA or other countries will take this. But what will happen? Some amount of money will be given to the company. Suppose there are customer care, and some amount of money by the Uber will be transferred to the for maintenance of customer care, salaries, etc. And some amount of money will be given to drivers. But most of the money was kept outside the country. Now, where the profits have been shifted? Outside the country. So on that, your corporate taxes collected there, it might be zero or might be less. But here they will be collecting less. So now under this, they cannot escape the clauses of taxes, misusing the tax clause. They need to pay here also. The Uber app need to pay whatever the profits that has been shifted. That profits, it is also called as on top. Such profits are called as on top. Generally, they are called as on top. I'll explain you. Okay, I'll see this. This is the thing. See, like this. Finance minister from G7 rich countries on Saturday reached a landmark agreement setting global minimum corporate tax. The deal aimed to end what US Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has called 30 years race to bottom of corporate taxes as countries compete to lease multinationals. Why global minimum? You see, why the global minimum? Major economies are aiming to discourage multinationals from shifting the profits and tax revenues. That's why to low tax jurisdiction, regardless of where their sales are made. So that's why you need. How does the global minimum tax works? See, the global minimum tax rate would apply to overseas profits also. Overseas. That means I told you just now the profits which are gone out of the country. So government could still set whatever the local corporate tax they want. But if the companies pay lower tax in particular country, their home government could top up. This is called top up tax. That's now I told you. The 15% of tax minus 5% of tax there. So this is 10% of tax. So this is called as a top up tax. So top up taxes on the minimum rate, eliminating the advantage of shifting. So 10% will be applied on the shifting of profits. Shifting of profits. Just now I told you. Right? This is one. Shifting of profits. So the OECD, the last month, that the government broadly agreed on the basis of design of minimum tax, but not rate. So you see, what about the minimum tax? They are proposing 15%. Okay, but Ireland, the countries such as Ireland has only 12.5%. That is one of the concern. I will tell you. This is top up tax. So 10% is called as a top up tax. Right now, you see, because of this, I told you the Uber app, etc. Now they cannot escape the clause. That is one clear. Now, second important point is there will be accountability. International companies now will be holding accountable. And they are also, there is an increase of transparency. And also, during this pandemic's effects, see, pandemic has affected any country. Yes, pandemics has affected, COVID-19 has affected many countries throughout the world. So their financial revenues are also under pressure. So during the pandemics like COVID-19, where there is a stress on financial resources, financial stress, financial pressure or finance stress is there, taxes, as much as tax collections is only source of revenue, not only that, may be important source of revenue during this pandemics. Okay, so there is a transparency, there is accountability, there is they cannot escape the loopholes or misuses a clause, etc. But there is a concern regarding this concern. What are the concerns here? Simply, how will you ensure that OECD is talking with more than 140 countries? How will you ensure that these countries agree? That is a most important point. See, without agreement, the other countries cannot implement it. So that is a major concern, one concern. Second, poor countries, how will they get benefit? Poor countries, they are attracting tax evasion, these tax jurisdiction countries, because they are attracting these foreign investment for their better economic development. How will they get benefit? Poor countries benefit out of it. Benefit out of it. That is also one of the concern, right? And the other concern is this GMC talks about tax avoidance, but they does not talks about, see, global or uniform minimum corporate tax talks about tax avoidance, not about tax evasion. That is a major concern we have. And also, where the countries, like for example, the OECD said that there are some uniform minimum tax if you apply. There are some countries where there is a 12.5 percentage, 15% is this one, that will affect their revenue. And also that OECD countries wanted 12.5 as a minimum tax, but G7 countries or G20 countries wanted it as 20, or USA, mainly the USA wanted it as 21%, but ultimately they came to 15% of agreement. Now, how it is good, or whether it is advantageous for India or disadvantageous for India, that we have to know it, right? So what are the steps that has been taken? So uniform minimum alternative tax, sorry, minimum corporate tax, where from India's perspective, okay, India's perspective, suppose you see, in 1990s we had 40% of tax. In 2000s we have 30% of tax. In 2020 we are having 22% of tax. So this is expected. Actually, what happened when we reduce the corporate tax because of the competition race to the bottom, we expected that investment would increase, but there was an impotence from the private sectors. So what happened, according to the data of 2007 and 8, there was the investment, mainly, investment is in the form of FDI, foreign direct investment. And these foreign direct investments not only helps in the capital formation, but also helps in generation of employment and also revenue for the government. So what happened, these foreign direct investments in 2007 and 8 was 28% of the GDP. But in recent times, in the year 2018-19, it has reduced to 23.4%, 4% of GDP. Okay, so see the corporate tax. Now you see, this is one scenario. The other scenario is, if I take the corporate taxes In 1990s, the corporate tax was 1% of GDP. And in 2007 and 8, it was 3.9% of GDP. See, corporate taxes are increasing. And in 2019-20, it has reduced to 2.4%. See, though we have reduced the government, because though the government has reduced the corporate tax from 30 to 22%, but still we are not able to cope. So in that scenario, the minimum uniform minimum corporate tax is going to affect the countries in terms of revenue generation, in terms of corporate taxes. So it is bad, that is disadvantages for the countries like India. Okay, so what are the steps, measures that has been taken? Measures taken by the country, measures taken by India in terms of BESP, base erosion, shift profit. So first one is India has ratified the multilateral convention. To implement tax treaties. Okay, or treaty to prevent BEPS. Okay, this is called multilateral instruments. Number one. Second thing is that we have signed, India has signed pact with USA to automatically exchange CBC report. CBC means country by country report. That means, for example, how this works, you see, suppose there is a parent company in the USA. This is a parent company is there, X company, and in India there is a subsidiary company, Y company. In India there is a subsidiary company. So whatever the goods and services which are exchanged between the X and Y, and money which has been supplied to by the Y, this whatever, just a minute, yeah, 1 minute, not this one example. Suppose you see that there is a USA company and this is your India subsidiary company. There is a parent company X, subsidiary company Y. So whatever the MNCs profits which are there in the companies, in the subsidiary company, okay, in the subsidiary company, the profits will be whatever the profits which they have shown, X company has shown of Y, the company's details will be exchanged with the country India. That is called country by country. Third one is about mutually, India has amended mutually agreed procedure. Mutually, any disputes, tax disputes, that has to be agreed mutually. This is under, it is also a part and parcel of your DTA, double taxation avoidance agreement. And the other is advanced pricing agreement. Advanced pricing, this is nothing but transfer pricing. Advanced pricing agreement. And the other is, fifth one is, we have seen in the last video, equalization tax levy, that in 2016 India has levied DST, digital service tax, 6% on advertisement sales, but in 2020 under the Financial Act we have increased, that is 2% on e-commerce or online platform sales. Okay, so already we have seen in the last video. This is about your uniform minimum corporate taxes.